Hello YouTube, today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to slimestone, because you know, the world's worst slimestoner can go ahead and teach you guys how to do slimestone. Whose idea was this? Before I start this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't, then I'm going to make sure to put a fork in the microwave next time you go to use it, unbeknownst to you, and you explode. First things you need to know are the basics of Slimestone, so here's a basic Ford extension. Another thing you want to know about Slimestone is updates, which is something very important to everything in the game and isn't just used for Slimestone. Updates means something has happened to a block. Let's put it that way. So say I do something to this block, just go ahead and pour some water on it, and as you can see, it moved. Now, placing the piston itself is a lot like an update, and that will also cause it to move, so that's a good way to figure out if your thing's going to work or not. This is your basic two-way extension. It's pretty simple, and now, if you were to hook this up to one of the one-way extensions, it wouldn't work. The first actual engine I'm going to show off is this Caterpillar engine right here. Now, it's got some cool things with it, but it will specifically go through all the core mechanics that you need to know. First of all is updating. It's not flying right now because nothing's updating it. In Minecraft, updates are what causes everything to work. That's a good example. When I broke that redstone block, it updated it to extent. You can also see this if you were to do this, and then just place anything right next to it, like another piston, it will update. What you use typically to update things in Slimestone is either fire charges, or if you're in an earlier version, you'd use flint and steel. So the centerpiece here is going to extend out, and then it's going to pull back in because it has the redstone block right here. When it retracts, this block then goes, yo, I just got updated, I need to push out because there's a redstone block right here. And then this block over here, everything moves forward at this point. And then this block right here will push this forward, which will end up updating this and restarts the cycle. You can see this in full action. Now, some exceptions to engines that require updates are ones with observers, and you don't need to update it because this gets powered directly by the observer here. You can see that if I were to just update it, and it would fly. This is what pushes this, which updates the observer, which gives power to this, which will extend it, pull this back in, and restart the cycle. The next mechanic we need to follow to understand this engine is zero ticking. Zero ticking is a way to make a piston do things pretty quickly, and you can see that here. Zero ticking happens pretty much when two things update each other. I'm not too professional on being able to explain zero ticking. It's kind of a big thing. There's a lot to do with it. In case you couldn't realize, it's not really that hard. That was just sarcasm. I'm just lazy. Zero ticking basically has the pistons yell at each other and makes them do things fast. I don't know how to explain it, but we're just gonna say that's what it does and get onto the next engine. Some tips when building engines is to put obsidian on the front of them so they don't move when you don't want them to. The next build I'm going to show off that demonstrates the zero tick very well is this thing. The 5 blocks a second engine, and a lot of zero ticking is used because it needs to move very fast. Now you can see some zero tick pretty much everywhere. This right here is a zero tick, this right here is a zero tick, this right here is a zero tick, and this has to be zero ticked in order to start it, which will then get zero ticked by this later. Yeah, no, this actually didn't work because these are supposed to be over here, these two pistons, but I mean, no one cares. Alright, so that's gonna be it for the basics. Now let's get into the more complicated stuff. So one thing I get a lot is how to keep your builds compact, but I've figured out though, and this can be seen here, which will be something I'll show off probably in another video, is that you probably want to build things backwards forwards, because then you get a good idea on what needs to happen, and that's what I'm doing at this build actually. I started here, went over here, then went over here. So it's not all about working things within one very sequential order. It's much more of a guess and check as you go, which is a horrible thing in real life, but you can do it here and no one cares. Now later in the video, I showcase a few other builds that will tell you exactly why I hate slime and slimestone. It is very useless. Here, as you guys can see, this is completely unfunctional. That is not a word. This is completely dysfunctional. It does not work whatsoever because there's slime in it. Now, if you were to get rid of the slime and replace it with endstone, a few more pistons, you'll end up with a working build this time. I don't know what you're trying to build if you build this, but let's give you another bad example. Say you did this and have an observer right there and right here. This, in theory, would be a good solution, but it's not a good solution. It's absolute garbage. In fact, actually, the best solution for this would be to put 2 observers here. So as it turns out, I actually didn't even need this piston either. We could totally get rid of that, and it should work now. I don't know why that piston wasn't needed. Apparently that falls under the push limit. I don't know how it does that, but I'm very impressed in this now. Remember to subscribe. I'm not going to give you guys an actual reason, but if you do it, then you guys might feel achieved, because you have a finger that can move and hit this subscribe button. I'm funny. The last build I'm going to showcase to show you guys most of the mechanics, not the zero ticking, but everything else put into one single build. Now here you guys can see it's a jumbled up mess, and it isn't necessarily the best. Like already this can be replaced with like a terracotta or some other block that's much better than slime, because slime's easy to blow up, and I'll probably be doing SBRT stuff again soon. But here you guys can see the observers. I had to get the longest one for this build within these parameters, because I wanted to make it small. Small slimestone's a lot more fun than big slimestone, but I mean, this did kind of limit some of what it can do. But this is fully functional. Just gotta remove all the obsidian. Now remember when you're doing remember when you save your structures to put obsidian almost everywhere. Here's the sniper I was talking about. It works completely functional. Why did that not work? Oh. Here's the completely functional sniper rifle that does move. It's quite honestly my favorite build I think I've ever done. Now in order to work it, you do this, you just update that somehow, and everything moves into place. Then you grab a water bucket and put it here. Then you load the cannon, and voila, you have a death weapon that can shoot 3 TNT at the speed of 2 kilometers a second or more if your server can handle it. That my server was not able to handle that, and I actually ended up crashing it, so you're welcome. And in the process of that, I'm able to show you guys cannon, and it is gone. That'll be it for this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. You get the gist.